What is up, my people? JaxB.TheRipper here. So today, metal around the world, we are in El Salvador. We're going to be talking about that metal scene. So they're located in Central America. Their neighbors are like Honduras and Guatemala. And here's the thing, I did not know this, but apparently they have 20 active main volcanoes, I believe it is, and they're all in near the major cities. And it's just a country full of calamity nature, but apparently they seem to love that about their country. So this scene was kind of interesting. There was actually a lot than I expected, because sometimes when I'm looking at small countries, I always see that as a challenge, because it's like, oh, they're not going to have that many. I know they're not going to have that many, but I actually ended up finding quite a few. So let's go ahead and start with Gaia Metal. That's the name of the band, Gaia Metal. You really need to type in Gaia and then metal. It's one of the more popular bands from El Salvador. They've been around since 1999. They have 4 full-length albums, 2 singles, and they're under the power metal category. So obviously right away you're going to know the lyrics about like medieval times, fantasy, and war. And I wouldn't be surprised, because they're not the only band from El Salvador, not that they're the only band in general, but I wouldn't be surprised if the lyrics, a lot of these Salvadorian bands are incorporating probably about the war that they went through. I think they went through like the 80s or something. I might be so wrong, sorry. Vocally, it fits very well. And not only that, if you've heard of Mago de Oz, then you are definitely going to get a dash of influence in that. You're going to feel it. It's just a bit toned down, as well as the guy's voice. It's not as, you know, as exactly like the guy from Mago de Oz, but you're definitely going to feel it for sure. A pipe organ or whatever that's called, you know, what it kind of sounds like, I know it's the keyboard, but it's old church's pipe organ. It's actually really good to hear throughout the songs and the albums. El Jardín de los Espejos, that's the one that it had a lot of that like pipe organ kind of sound. And one of the songs in particular, it kind of gave me like Majin Buu, Dragon Ball Z, but like Dragon Ball Z Bruce Falconer, I think was his last name, the one who did all the music here for the US and Canada. It gave me that kind of like vibe. Like I was like, I'm not going to be surprised that they were Dragon Ball Z fans and they took inspiration, because Dragon Ball Z hit big here in the US like literally the year 2000. I saw that influence was in the song El Secreto de la Luna. But the lead singer's voice is very melodic, very storytelling, just like you would expect from a power metal band. Even though it was keyboard centered, it didn't really overpower. So that's what I liked about listening to them. It wasn't like, you know, sometimes when you hear power metal, either the orchestra, well, that's more with symphonic, but sometimes it sneaks into the power metal, or like the keyboards take too much of the music, you know, then you're like, where's the guitars and the drums, you know? And I know their album Espíritu y Tierra, that one kind of had like a little bit of thrash elements to it. So they really know how to like expand to other subgenres, but yet still keeping the core of power metal. Okay, Víbora. So primarily most of their songs were in English. Okay, so you don't know, Víbora translates to snake. I would do Spanish words of the day, but I feel like we'll never finish this video, because a lot of these bands do sing in Spanish. Also keep in mind, I noticed I found a lot of power metal. I'm not saying there wasn't more out there, but literally I'm not going to do every band that's on fucking Metal Archives. I'm sorry. Well, this video will be like 2 hours long or more, and that's just a small country. The band started in 2005, but they split it in 2023. They started as like cover bands for like 80 songs. I'm guessing primarily English, and that's why you hear them sing pretty good in English. But I believe they split up in like 2023. You can find them on Spotify and all those streaming services if you guys stream or anything like that. They're like heavy metal and glam, so you can really feel like, especially like that late 80s, that early 90s kind of glam. Sometimes I kind of felt like that 90s rock in it as well. Sometimes I would also hear with the album that they had out, I would also hear like a little bit of the Motorhead and a little kiss of Judas Priest in there too. Astaroth, this was a good band. I like Astaroth, and none of the gins I worship. Maybe that'll be a Metal on the Occult video next. It's more on the heavy metal side, you know, heavy trad metal, however you want to call it now. But there is some thrash influence. It's very pumping, very fun. When I've read like comments and stuff like that, a lot of people are saying this was one of the best bands from El Salvador. There's a lot of that, like, what is it called? Tremolo picking guitar sound in it too, in their songs, I've noticed. I hope I got that term right. I'm really trying to, like, look up more terms and learn more about, like, actual playing music than just saying, I like this band. So I'm trying to learn more of that. But it's just fun, dude. It was just great. It was like almost like a new perspective that I kind of needed to hear too. So definitely, if you really more on the trad side and you like that thrash influence, go look at Metatron. They've been active since 1997. It's a power metal band. Lead singer, vocals is interesting. 1 minute it will be like a little bit more on that, like I guess like melodic operatic kind of sound, but then the next minute she'll kind of turn into gritty kind of sound. So it's really back and forth, just depending which song, which album you're listening to. They have 3 full-length albums, and when I was listening to their songs, I know they're also a really popular band in El Salvador, I was getting Rata Blanca influences. I'm so sorry if you don't know some of these Spanish bands I'm naming, but I'm pretty sure I did Metal Around the World Spain, so go watch that video. And I forgot what else I did. I think I did Chile. Did I do Colombia? I gotta go look. I don't even know. I don't even know what I did. But I know especially Spain had, like, I think the most power metal kind of bands that I did listen to the most. So Rata Blanca is from Argentina, in case you guys don't know. I've seen them live. So yeah, so I'm sorry if you don't know these bands, or maybe you should go out and look into these bands, despite if they sing in Spanish or not, because they're fun. And you do get like early Iron Maiden sounds, like primarily Killers, so you will hear that raw sound of it too. Sepelio, which basically translates to funeral, or burial. Death thrash metal side, they're very more on like the raw sounding kind. If I were to compare them to somebody, again, this is going to be another Latin America band from Mexico. It's going to be trance metal, but a little bit more, maybe more on the raw side. Specifically, I know you guys must have heard Mexico Bárbaro, especially if you saw the movie on Netflix. If not, go do it. Oh shit. Bye. Okay, so my light died, so we're just going to have to be in the dim. Lyrically, it's going to be more on like on death, demons, and society, which is practically every thrash metal band. But it's just sad because they only had like 1 demo and that's it, and it was filled with like these slow, chunky riffs and then like rapid blast beats. So it was such a good like demo. It's just kind of sad that's all I was able to find. I don't know, maybe somebody else will be able to find more stuff and they can link it, but I think even Metal Archives, I think they just listed the demo as well. Sulfur, black and thrash, raw black metal. Very raw. When I mean raw, you could tell that they were doing this in somebody's garage. Here, what are those round bronze things called? It says cymbals. Is that really cymbals? Am I saying it wrong? I know I'm saying it wrong. But you can literally hear that. That's all you'll hear. Nothing wrong with it, because I know there's a huge amount of people out there that love the raw is of black metal. I mean, I remember when I first got on YouTube like 10 years ago, I think it was, when I finally switched to the metal side, I noticed everybody wanted the most raw sounding band out, black metal band out there. Well, there you go, Sulfur. Go out and go look that up. I almost dropped my notebook by doing that. I will say this, with the demo that they have out and everything, it does help transition to the next song quite well. And they mainly talk about killing Christians and posers. This had to be like a group of 16 and 17 year olds. There's literally, I mean, posers? I could understand the Christian part, but posers? Sorry, I wasn't trying to be a dick there, but it was just funny, I'm sorry. Next band, Kabbalah. They were formed in 2004, even though they're going to give you that 80s, early 90s thrash metal kind of vibe. They go by speed / heavy metal. The vocals, I'm not going to lie, I kind of feel like they weren't, it was misplaced. I kind of felt like they were more of a power metal vocals. The album I was listening to was Sinfonía de la Muerte. It was really filled with like these palm muted riffs and like the chugginess of it, and then not only that, like the like I said, the vocals just kind of dragged. That was the only thing, like it kind of just dragged. They do have 3 full-length albums, but that one was the one I concentrated on the most. Vertical. Okay, if you know the band L3, I kind of felt like they have influence in it. So again, look up all these bands, but there is a specific sound to it that makes it sound Latin. Anyways, going back to Vertical, so they split up. They're a heavy metal sound, but they do have a little bit of power metal in them. You're going to hear that a lot. I'm sorry. They released like a demo in '93 and I believe a compilation as well. So there's not really much music that I found. And again, very like late 80s, 90s type of sound, Latin rock that was going on. And they sing about legends, drugs, and war. And his vocals is also very storytelling. Is very slower, on the more slower sound. Witchcraft. Okay, this band split up, and I'm sad, and I don't know if you can hear it. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it, but the music is playing in the background. This is like some melodic black metal. We're only around for like a couple of years, and it's just a self-titled one. I believe you can find it on cassette. When I was searching for it, you can find it on cassette. But the melodic side does not overtake the black metal at all. It is in English, and it is mainly like on like talking about satanic worshiping and the occult, obviously, and witchcraft. Master Lord Lucifer, the track of that one I did get like acid rock. Yes, I will use the term acid rock, okay? Fight me, I don't care. But it was very like, I heard like early Black Sabbath in that one. So in early Black Sabbath was called acid rock, whether people like to admit that or not. So think almost like raw Black Sabbath. I like that. Track 2, that one was my favorite. I love listening to that one a lot. And also, I just want to say, like, kind of think when you're listening to these albums, think you've seen a Dario Argento film. It's like, it will go so well with a Dario Argento film, like the soundtrack. So, yeah, I guess you could say, I don't want to say it's like Goblin, because the vocals are very different, but, like, yeah, kind of think, like, it'll go well for, like, the score of it, to tell you the truth. I hope I say the name right. Kabak. Grindcore death metal lyrically is about like that sick twisted sense of humor, about gore and all that stuff. They've been around since '94, but they only have like 3 full lengths and a couple compilations. Apparently this band like changed locations a couple of times. They were in El Salvador, and I think now it's like half of them are in Finland and half of them are in Los Angeles. I don't know. Good luck to you. But it is a very old school, brutal, gutturally like kind of sound. There's very Cannibal Corpse-like sound to it. Obviously from the very early 90s kind of sound, and very dark, heavy riffs in it as well. We did win awards for like the best extreme metal act in Central America. So overall, this is a very popular band for sure. Taboo. I want you to think of a very raw version of Suicidal Tendencies. They're a thrash metal band. They only have 1 full length out there, and they also have a demo, I believe. Juegos de Muerte has like the Megadeth early sound to it, and also Nuclear Assault. So it is a very well band. Maybe a hint of black metal throughout it as well. Supposedly Taboo was like the first metal band in El Salvador. That's just what I read on their biography. Don't come at me. Like the best way I could say this, like it sounds like if like a tank or a war is going through your house. That's like the best way I could describe this band, and they are one of the most popular bands in El Salvador for sure, and I believe they're still going on. Y eso es todo de metal alrededor del mundo. El próximo país es Noruega. Yes, we're going to be in Norway. You guys voted for that. Sorry, Bosnia came in a very close. Very close. But anyways, que saludos si me está mirando de El Salvador. Y si son nuevos aquí, mi nombre es Jax. Es corto por Jacqueline, pero más me dicen Jax. Y a veces me dicen la reina de metal. Ya, yo sé que yo no juego con banda, pero si tú estás aquí en el primer día, tú vas a saber por qué me llaman la reina. Y si andan confundidos y por qué me llaman la reina de metal si yo no juego en ninguna banda, es porque hace unos años, yo creo era como en 2019, me estaban atacando unos trolls en las redes y me estaban diciendo que las mujeres no tienen un lugar aquí en el metal, ni para escucharlo, ni para nada, y que sabe qué. Yo no me enojé, pero yo hice un video que lo siento que tú andas en tus días. Yo entiendo y tú sabes que yo me voy a quedar y yo voy a ser tu reina de metal. Y de ahí me pararon de joder allí. So, bueno, anyway, saludos y gracias por mirarme, and I'll see you guys in the next video.